What do you really perceive around you? The light that illuminates your space, the sounds that echo, or the thoughts that cross your mind? What hides behind the ordinary is extraordinary, a state of pure possibility. In this video, we'll explore how the reality you seek is closer than you think, not in some distant future, but here, now, and within you. We'll understand how the illusion of separation limits us, how science explains perception, and how simple practices can reveal the beauty of the present. Get ready to rediscover the paradise that has always been within your reach. Let's get started. How the illusion of separation limits your life. Separation is a construct of the mind, a narrative imposed on us from an early age and amplified by social, cultural, and economic structures. We live in a system that promotes the idea that life is a competition, where only a few have access to happiness, success, or love. This model teaches us to constantly seek something outside of ourselves, ignoring the richness of what we already have. As a result, we end up reinforcing a mindset of scarcity and comparison, which limits our ability to perceive the abundance of the present. This paradigm of separation also creates artificial divisions between people, groups, and even between us and nature, deepening the sense of isolation. Spiritual practices throughout history have tried to dissolve this notion of separation. Advaita Vedanta, for example, teaches that there is no essential difference between the individual being and the universe. This philosophy invites people to realize the unity inherent in all things. Similarly, Buddhism emphasizes interdependence, showing how everything in life is intrinsically connected. These teachings remind us that the perception of separateness is an illusion created by the mind, and that by recognizing our unity with the whole, we experience peace and wholeness. Science also offers insights into the impact of separation on mental and physical health. Studies in psychology reveal that the feeling of isolation is directly linked to an increase in conditions such as depression, anxiety, and cardiovascular disease. Researchers have found that feeling disconnected activates areas of the brain associated with physical pain, highlighting how isolation affects not only the emotional, but also the bodily. On the other hand, meaningful connections with other people and the world around us have the power to reduce stress, improve immunity, and promote lasting well-being. By deconstructing the illusion of separation and embracing the interconnectedness of life, we create an internal and external environment that supports a true sense of happiness. Consciousness as the path to wholeness. Consciousness is the key to unlocking the reality of the paradise that surrounds us. Different spiritual traditions recognize consciousness as a direct channel for experiencing the divine. In Zen Buddhism, for example, practices such as Zazen, sitting meditation, emphasize the act of being completely present, revealing the depth of the present moment. Sufism, on the other hand, sees consciousness as a means of achieving union with the divine through contemplative practices such as dhikr, the repetition of sacred names that calms the mind and allows access to a higher dimension of being. These traditions teach us that consciousness is not something we seek outside of ourselves, but the very essence of who we are, always available, just waiting to be recognized. To cultivate this presence in everyday life, simple practices can be incorporated. Conscious breathing is a powerful and accessible technique. By inhaling and exhaling deeply, bringing full attention to the act of breathing, we create a space of calm and presence in the midst of daily tasks. Another effective practice is self-observation, where we take a few minutes throughout the day to notice our thoughts and emotions without judging them. This exercise not only helps us to reconnect with our essence, but also to free ourselves from the personal narratives that keep us stuck in the past or anxious about the future. These practices invite us to experience life in its fullness, turning every moment into a celebration of being. Science also corroborates the transformative impact of mindfulness. Neuroscience studies show that practicing mindfulness positively alters brain structures, increasing activity in the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for emotional regulation and decision-making. Research also shows that mindfulness reduces levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, promoting a state of calm and well-being. In addition, this practice improves mental health, reducing symptoms of anxiety and depression. These scientific findings reinforce that consciousness is not just a spiritual concept, but a practical and measurable tool for transforming the way we live and interact with the world. When we fully connect to consciousness, life becomes a dance of rich and meaningful experiences, where every moment is an opportunity to celebrate existence. What neuroscience reveals about the reality you ignore. Neuroscience offers us a fascinating insight into how our minds filter reality. Our brains function as filtering systems that prioritize information based on past experiences and survival. An example of this is the negativity bias, a cognitive tendency that makes us focus more on what we perceive as problems or threats than on the positive things around us. This mechanism was useful for our ancestors in a world full of dangers, but today it often prevents us from appreciating the present. When we believe that paradise is somewhere else, our brain reinforces this idea, ignoring evidence that it is already here. The good news is that this filtering is adaptable and can be reprogrammed. Every time we consciously recognize the beauty in the present moment, we create new neural connections that expand our ability to perceive the positive. A clear example of this process is neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and adapt over time. Studies show that practices such as meditation and gratitude have a direct impact on reconfiguring the brain. Regular meditation, for example, strengthens the prefrontal cortex, which is associated with self-regulation and conscious perception. Practicing gratitude can also change our thought patterns, encouraging us to focus on positive experiences. Simple exercises can help in this process. Try, for example, listing 3 positive things you notice in your environment or in your day. This daily exercise may seem trivial, but repetition strengthens the neural pathways that allow us to perceive more positive aspects of life, reducing the influence of negativity bias. The practice of mindfulness is another powerful tool for transforming our perception. When we become more aware of what is around us, be it sounds, textures, or colors, we begin to dismantle the barriers we have created between ourselves and reality. Neuroimaging studies show that mindfulness can reduce activity in the amygdala, the region of the brain associated with stress and anxiety, promoting a greater sense of calm. In addition, the regular practice of mindfulness increases connectivity between different areas of the brain, improving our capacity for focus and emotional balance. This transformation is not just a change of perspective. It is a profound reprogramming of our experience of life. By training our mind to see paradise in the present moment, we begin to experience reality in a richer and more meaningful way. How to listen to the wisdom hidden in your body. Our body is a vehicle of perception that we often ignore, but it is a deep source of wisdom that can reconnect us to the balance and fullness of life. Ancient health systems, such as traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, and Ayurveda, have long recognized the body as a mirror of energetic balance. In TCM, organs are believed to be linked to specific emotions. For example, the liver to feelings of anger and the lungs to sadness. In Ayurveda, the body is seen as an interconnected field of energy, and practices such as conscious eating, massage with medicinal oils, and breathing play crucial roles in maintaining harmony. These traditions remind us that the health of the body is not only physical, but also an expression of our emotional and energetic state. Somatic practices, such as yoga and Tai Chi, are effective ways of accessing this body wisdom. Yoga, with its fluid movements and synchronized breathing, helps us to release tension and bring awareness to every part of the body. Tai Chi, on the other hand, with its slow pace and meditative movements, promotes a state of balance that connects the mind and body in a harmonious way. Both offer practical ways to feel the body as an extension of our being, allowing energy to flow freely. Even simple actions, such as morning stretches or pauses during the day to observe your posture and breathing, can bring a new level of attention to the body and strengthen this connection. In addition, repressed emotions often find a way to manifest themselves physically, creating discomfort or even illness. For example, a feeling of tension in the neck or shoulders can reflect the weight of accumulated responsibilities, while problems in the digestive system can be linked to unresolved emotions of worry or fear. Paying attention to the body's signals helps us to identify these unconscious patterns and address them in a healthy way. Techniques such as body scanning, in which you focus on each part of the body to identify tensions or sensations, can be a powerful starting point. This practice teaches us to listen to the body and treat it not just as a machine, but as a wise partner on life's journey. When we connect with the body's intelligence, we begin to realize that paradise is not a distant concept, but a reality that reveals itself in every breath, heartbeat, and feeling of being alive. This deep connection invites us to experience life in its entirety and to find balance between mind, body, and spirit. The body, when listened to, can guide us to a state of full presence, where we recognize that the divine is not outside, but lives in every cell that makes up our being. Why knowing too much may be blocking your realization? Intellectual knowledge, however valuable, can easily become a trap that distances us from the direct experience of life. While theoretical knowledge accumulates information and concepts, experiential wisdom is lived and felt in the present moment. Philosophers such as Socrates emphasized the importance of recognizing one's own ignorance as a first step towards wisdom, while Lao Tse taught us that true understanding arises from inner silence and connection with the natural flow of existence. These lessons remind us that an excess of theory, without practical application, often diverts us from the essential simplicity of being. One way to escape this trap is to set aside daily moments of introspection and silence. This can be as simple as taking a few minutes to observe your breathing, meditate, or reflect on the day's learnings. These moments allow knowledge to be integrated in a deeper way, connecting mind and heart. For example, instead of just reading about gratitude, try closing your eyes and genuinely feeling something for which you are grateful. This practice transforms abstract ideas into lived experiences, creating a deeper sense of connection and authenticity. Stories of people who have let go of the excess of theories to pursue a more intuitive and connected life are inspiring. One notable example is that of an entrepreneur who, after years of accumulating degrees and intellectual achievements, realized that his life was full of ideas but empty of meaning. Abandoning the incessant search for intellectual validation, he turned to simple practices such as gardening and meditation. These activities reconnected him with the present, bringing a sense of fulfillment that no single theory had ever provided. True wisdom lies not in the amount of information we accumulate, but in how deeply we live each moment. When we abandon the need to understand everything conceptually, we begin to experience life with freshness and spontaneity. The paradise we seek is not hidden in books or theories. It is present in the here and now, waiting to be felt and experienced. This surrender to the moment frees us from the limitations of the mind and allows us to access a fuller reality, where knowledge is no longer a burden, but a bridge to the true essence of existence. Are you ready to recognize the paradise around you? The choice to recognize the paradise that surrounds us is an act of intention and attention that we make every moment. We can continue looking for something that we imagine is outside of us, or we can open our eyes to the beauty that is already there. This decision is at the heart of practices such as mindfulness. which teaches us to accept the present moment exactly as it is, without judgment. By choosing to accept circumstances, even challenging ones, we create space to turn difficulties into learning opportunities. This perspective frees us from the scarcity mentality and allows us to experience the abundance that permeates every moment of life. Modern psychology, especially in the field of neuroscience, reinforces how conscious and repeated choices have the power to shape new neural patterns. Studies on neuroplasticity show that by consistently focusing on thoughts of gratitude and acceptance, we strengthen brain connections associated with well-being and emotional resilience. Thus, choosing to recognize paradise is not only a philosophical or spiritual act, but also a practice that literally reconfigures our brain to see and live life in a more positive and expansive way. To cultivate this practice on a daily basis, an effective technique is the emotional check-in. During the day, take a moment to close your eyes, breathe deeply, and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Acknowledge your emotions without judgment, and then bring to mind something you feel grateful for at the moment. It could be something simple, like the warmth of the sun or the sound of pleasant music. This practice helps to anchor your attention in the present and to appreciate what is already within your reach. Another suggestion is a guided visualization to cultivate the perception of inner paradise. Imagine a soft, welcoming light enveloping you, representing the presence of the divine in your life. Feel this light filling your body, warming every cell and dissolving any resistance or tension. When you open your eyes, try to maintain this feeling throughout the day, allowing it to transform your perception of the situations and interactions you encounter. Recognizing paradise is a daily practice, a choice that becomes more natural over time. Every breath, every heartbeat is a reminder that the divine is not somewhere far away, but here and now. True freedom comes when we stop looking outside ourselves for what we already have and start living from that awareness. Paradise is not a destination. It is a reality that is accessible in every moment, awaiting only our recognition. We have reached the end of this journey, but the discovery of paradise around you has only just begun. Today, we've reflected on how consciousness, the body, and even science point to the beauty present in every moment. Now it's up to you to open your eyes to life fully, letting go of the limitations of the mind. Remember, paradise is not a place to be reached, but a reality to be recognized. If this video has inspired you, like it, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Comment, "I recognize paradise," and let's continue on this journey of transformation together.